You said something really interesting. I think he's like really annoying now at this age. It's really terrible, but I love him, so it's all right.
Yeah, and that was for me really dramatic situation. I thought something happened, some terroristic attack or some fire. Like how we met is that you have your own podcast.
Yes, exactly.
And had Adoptie Cafe. If anyone kind of like following, then it is.
Yeah, Adoptie Cafe. You should listen to it.
You should listen to it.
Yeah.
It is really kind of not only for people that they went through the adoption, but also for people to understand people who went through adoption.
My name is Roberto. And I live in Zoetermeer in the Netherlands with my family. I have a wife and 2 kids, one from 12 years old and one is 16 years old. He just became 16 years, yeah. So, and we have a dog, and he's 11 months old now, so it's a puppy. And he's really annoying now at this age. It's really terrible, but I love him, so it's all right.
Yeah.
I'm from Colombia. And it's really interesting because since we met and you asked me to be in your podcast, let me say it like this: I am wondering for myself what is the effect of my adoption for me in my I'm 47 years old now, in my past life or like in the past years or in for now. So, and I think it's when I start thinking about it, it became more and more and more. Mm-hmm. So for the last 2-3 years, I'm really try to heal my traumas from my adoption and from where I come from and that sort of things. So I think this is really in line with my process that we are talking about this part of the adoption, about coming from Colombia to the Netherlands and what's the impact of that. And I thought it was not really a lot, but it is a lot. So it's really like leaving my roots.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where I came from, and it's in my DNA, it's in my system, and it's not gone. When I went to the Netherlands, I was 3 months old, so I am still Colombian. I still am, but I was raised here in the Netherlands, and that's a difficult thing. So I think when you come from whatever country you are from, and you come to the Netherlands because you have to go because of a war or because you find the love of your life and you come to the Netherlands or whatever, you leave your roots in your country, you leave your culture, you leave your language, and that has a lot of impact.
Yeah. And it's always kind of immigrants always saying that they don't know anywhere where they belong, because at some point, like, part of you is still with the country that you left, and part of you is in the new place, because it is nowhere is your home or everywhere is your home. I think it's better to look like the second option, to more positive, like everywhere is our home, because it's bit of heart is there, bit of heart is here. So I think it's also connected with people who adopted, that sometimes I think it comes with like middle age time that you starting to look for that roots, kind of. Maybe when you're child, when you're young, you don't care. When you kind of, it is your world. Like my kids, for them, they don't think much about it. But when you kind of like 40, I think you start to think, who am I? Am I like Colombian, you said? Or am I Dutch? Like, passport is nothing. It's more what your heart is saying. And I started the podcast also for myself, because I don't know. Who am I? Because I'm scared. Still, I'm scared to talk to people in the Netherlands. That's I think it's also important for every immigrant to kind of to let know to Dutch people that we sometimes not answering for hello, not because we are arrogant or we kind of snobs or whatever. No, we're just scared. We don't know how to answer. Next to my home is a park, and it took me a long time to learn what you should answer. Because it's kind of in the beginning, it's shocking because in my culture, we're not saying hi to each other in the park. And people are saying hello to me. Now I know that also goeiedag. And I was like, what's the answer? What's the proper... Is it the moment to explain that I'm not Dutch? Or it is too short? So in the end, I'm putting, heads down.
Yeah.
And that's it. And then people think, oh, she's rude.
I can imagine it's really difficult. And especially when you come from another country and nobody's telling you what
to say.
Or what to say, or what's our culture, or what we do or what we don't. So that makes it really difficult.
Then you feel, okay, I'm not belonging here because I cannot act like I should. Like I told you the story that I was waiting in front of the school. The school was closed. And that was for me really dramatic situation. I thought something happened, some terroristic attack or some fire. Turns out that Rommel Pit was there. So funny story on the end, but what we and other mothers went through, it is scary moment. And then you think I don't belong here because I don't understand the culture.
Sometimes it's really difficult, sometimes it's really sad, and sometimes it's like confusing, because I've been one time to Colombia, back to Colombia, and it was like 15 years ago.
Oh.
And in a lot of moments, I felt like really like nowhere else on this planet, but I was like home. It was the energy of the people, the energy of the country, the people themselves. It was really great. But at the moment when I saw some culture, like there were people dancing on the street, some salsa dancing or something, and then I was like, I can't dance like that. I mean, I can't dance even one thing about it. So, and that makes it difficult because it's my country. I'm Colombian, but I don't know the culture and I cannot participate in the culture. Yeah. And that's difficult. And then another difficult thing is that here in the Netherlands, there are a lot of Colombians adopted, but also immigrants from Colombia. They came to the Netherlands for work or whatever, family, etc., etc. And sometimes they invite me to Colombian parties. Yeah. So parties only for Colombians. Yeah. I have never been there. Yeah. Because it will one day I will go, but for now it's so difficult for me because I cannot speak the language. I don't speak Spanish. And there are a lot of speaking Spanish Colombians over there. I can't dance. I don't know the food. I don't know anything. So
that's me on Dutch party. I kind of recognize the same, that you are part of them, but you're not part of them. And I think it's a lot of in our head, because for sure they would love to have you there. They're inviting you, so they would love to, and they will for sure take care of you. But in our head, we imagining the situation, like somebody will point, you don't know the songs. Exactly. We kind of we imagining how terrible people will act towards us. It is not gonna happen, but the head, the visions, I already kind of before I go, I already know what's gonna happen, that somebody will ask me something, and I have to explain I don't speak Dutch, and that's so embarrassing because the whole story in my head. The same I think for you. So we have, this. That's why we have so much in common, because we kind of scared. We
exactly.
Scared.
Yeah. So exactly what you're saying in your head. It's
small steps. That's why that podcast also is here. Because I want that other people will understand we all going through this process of being scared. And every time we step out from home, we stand up from our couch and we will do something let's meet somebody. There are some places like Piezo in Zoetermeer is a place, nobody's asking you why you came here. Just hi, you are welcome here. And I think this is very important to understand, that you don't have to learn the Dutch perfectly before you make the first step. Just go and start. And I remember I was signing up for every single card. I went to Douglas. They asked me, "Do you have a card?" "No." "Do you want?" "No." "Yeah." Because you know why? Because I wanted to get my first mail.
Yeah.
On my
Yeah,
name, on my.
I can imagine.
It is so stupid, but
Yeah.
I was so happy to be part of this society. Because I get my email with the card. You know, it is the beginnings are so difficult for people from abroad.
And I can imagine that something small like this can be really big for a person like you when you're from abroad, when you're an immigrant abroad. And that, I think that's a different thing with me, because for me it's like normal that I have my own meal and that sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
So this won't give me that feeling. So that is a problem, because for me, I can imagine that these small things can be big things for me.
Yeah.
But because this is normal for me, I cannot have this like a big thing.
Yeah.
So to feel really fine here in the Netherlands, in this country, and as I told you, because I knew this podcast was coming, I was starting to feel a lot about, am I happy here? Do I really feel this country? I mean, I live here and I'm happy with my family and etc. But can I feel it? Did I integrate the energy of this country? That sort of things. And how about my identity? And that sort of thing. So these questions I asked myself make it really difficult, because for me it's like somewhere it's a struggle.
Yeah.
I mean, I was Friday. I was at the dinner, and there were 70 adopted people, and I talked to a lot of them. And one of them, she told me like, in January I'm going to Colombia. That's where she came from. Come from. Go back to Colombia for 3 months.
Okay.
So she's going back to her roots, and this is not the first time she's going back, because she's planning to live over there. And these conversations are really difficult for me, because it's like, okay, I want to go back, but I can't, because I have my work here, I have my family here. So but somewhere inside me there is a sort of, I don't know, energy who really knows that when I'm going to live in Colombia, I don't know, it might feel better than living here in the Netherlands.
It will be home.
It will be home, yeah.
Yeah, I wonder how it is. When I'm going to Poland for visit, I feel taller. It's so stupid. I feel I'm like few centimeters taller than I am now, because I'm going straight. I understand what they're saying. I don't have to translate in my head. It is. I went for the first time after Corona. I went to Poland. I cried in the kind of bakery because I understood the signs, what they're selling. You know? And here, I don't know. My knowledge of language is kind of like, I understand that there is, for example, like some cookie, but because the names are well known for Dutch people, so they're not saying what's inside.
I understand.
And I knew exactly what's inside. I cried there like, that was so shocking for me. That two things, that I felt taller, and now even I'm talking about it. Look, I'm getting taller.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. That's probably when you will go to Colombia. That kind of the smells of that, you know, that you feel like.
Yeah, and I really believe that the roots are so strong. You're so attached with the country and the energy, and so even if you go to another country, when you go back, it's like perfect match, sort of coming home. And I really believe it's like that. So, I mean, when I went to Colombia like 15 years ago, it was really difficult because at the moment I was in Colombia, I landed at the airport, something happened in myself. And now I know what happened. At that moment, I was not in a place I'm now, because I did a lot of work for myself, like healing work. So, but at that moment, I was really confused about what was happening with my body and my mind, because the smell, the people, everything, the language is like, whoa. I thought I could understand everybody, but I couldn't. But it was like, for me, it was like, I don't know.
It's something that you
so normal.
Yeah, exactly. Something that your body knew, kind of. So because the identity, the roots is something that it's not from you, it's from generations back.
Exactly.
That cells in you, that generations are building.
It's in my whole body. So
exactly. Amazing.
That is what happened. It was really a difficult period there. We were there for like 5 weeks, and it was beautiful, and I had the time of my life, but it also was difficult. So, bring it back to immigrants. I mean, it's like when you come to a country like this, you don't. These are not your roots. Yeah, they're in the other countries. So, only that fact thing that it's not your native country. Only that makes it so difficult. I can imagine.
Yeah, it does, and that's why I think the main question is, where are you at home? Is it possible to be in two places like at home? Kind of, because we all the time we're trying to understand where is the home, because the roots, but also now it's you said family. For me also, where is my family? There is my home. Is it kind of? I think society is asking us to choose. That where is your home? Where is your? Maybe it is. Maybe there is no answer, like one answer. Maybe there is like two places.
It's really interesting because yesterday I was invited in a meeting where we were talking about immigrants also, and we started this meeting with a question like, when do you feel home? Yeah. So I was like, okay, because that's difficult, because it's not a question I think a lot about. So, but for me, it's like, okay, it has to be safe, and there should be a lot of love, and the people I love should be in the home. Yeah, and that's my home. For me, that's my home. But we were like with like 10 or 12 people in around the table, and there were a lot of different answers to that, because people say, I like home is for me is where I can cook really nice meals for myself, or when I have the garden for me is really important, so home is where my garden is, all that sort of thing. So for everybody it's different.
For example, I am super happy that I am safe now. I am in the country, and I think many people can say that the Netherlands is our place to be because we are safe here. And we are super grateful, but to assimilate, it's not enough just to give us a shelter. Also try to understand us, give us some more understanding to our position. We are not rude, we are just scared. We are not arrogant, we just ashamed. It's not only getting from society, you're also giving. When you have some talents, I met so many talented people in Piezo. And if they all will go out there and show how they beautifully, painting, sewing, whatever they do, the country can gain. But they're sitting at home because they're scared. So that's my goal, kind of like go outside. But Dutch people should also understand that, guys, we understand you ashamed. Just come.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of mothers, especially that's my part, what I know, they're sitting at home because they're scared. They're scared. Yeah. They don't know the language.
But I mean, I can imagine. I
Yeah,
mean,
and
you don't know the language, you don't know the culture, you don't know how.
But they
how
want
you
to
should.
work. They would like to fit in. That the system in Holland is amazing. That you can work 2 days, and then still take care of kids. You can do it, and you can have a contact with grown-ups. I love it, but I know that it costed me also a lot of, like, I had to dare to do it. As you know, it is not easy to get to outside, and then you have to face some CV writing, this, and recruitment process. It is kind of difficult when people the people want to do it.
I agree about people. They really want to work here or do something for the society. I mean, but if you are in the process of going to be a refugee or something, and you come from a war zone to the Netherlands, it's a hell of a trip. I really can't imagine how hard it is, how traumatic it is, but it is. And then you come finally here in the Netherlands, and it's like, okay, I can imagine that the people are not the first thing they want when they start to come in Holland, like, oh, I want to work. No, of course not. I mean, they have traveling a really heavy trip to Holland. Yeah. So they have to really calm down first, and maybe they need some psychological care and that sort of things. What helped you to come from the couch?
For me, I think partly is character that I had. That I was tired of being miserable, and I was sitting, but still months I spent it on that couch, and I was at some point, I missed people. I started to look around. I felt that me is gone. I love to talk with people. I love to meet. I love to analyze every single stuff, and I love to also challenge myself with with something. You know, it's kind of my potential was kind of like I felt like every day worse and even worse and even worse. I felt really bad, and then at some point, like 3 months, it took me to understand that I have to do a move. Nobody's coming to this house and kind of grab me. I can order, I don't know how many cards for to being member of something. You still not member of anything. So I went one day to bring my child to school, and I saw next to the school, I saw people I saw different culture, and I thought, what are they doing there? They coming to that building. I was too scared to come in. I made a photo of the piezo sign. I Googled it at home. I called. That was a big move in English. I called, what, can I come? And Milu at that time, she was the boss of that piezo. She told me, yeah, come tomorrow. And I was so shocked. I thought, not in 6 months when the next semester is starting, or next. No, she said, tomorrow you can come. And that was for me like first step. Okay, I'm doing good. And I went there, and like first people that I met, they're still my friends. Like we started to talk, and hey, I noticed they are like me. They scared. It's not that everyone speaks Dutch there perfectly and I'm the only one. No, everyone is struggling and also kind of scared. So that was my beginning, and then also spring started, sunshine came, and
that helps a lot.
That helps a lot.
Yeah.
That helped a lot. Yeah. That sunshine also. And I guess when I saw the people coming there, some intuition told me that this is gonna be place for you. And I went there, but it cost me also a lot of stress. And I understand also for people, it is always challenge. What to wear, what to say hi or not, or hello, yeah. But then it is worth it. It is worth it because every day you're going to be stronger.
Nice. Yeah, I love your story.
It's gonna be the end, I think.